In the previous class, we studied the refraction and the Snell's law in detail. Now we study the refraction through spherical lenses, refraction by spherical lenses, spherical surfaces. And here we study two kinds of lenses, mainly convex lens and concave lens. A convex lens is called a converging lens. It is called a converging lens. I will tell you why. And a concave lens is called a diverging lens. Diverging lens. So, what is a lens? A lens is a transparent medium bounded by two surfaces. If both the surfaces are convex like this, convex, we call it as a biconvex lens or simply convex lens. When I say convex lens, it is a biconvex lens. If both the surfaces are concave like this, we call it as a biconcave lens or concave lens. Now, there are so many other lenses. A convex lens together with a plane surface will be called as a plano-convex lens. A concave lens with a plane surface, one surface plane is called a plano-concave lens. There are so many types of lens. So we concentrate on a convex lens and a concave lens. A convex lens is having two spherical surfaces. So it will have two centers of curvature on either sides. If I do it here, this surface is a part of a sphere, this surface is a part of a sphere. So this is the center of curvature of the first surface, this is the center of curvature of the second surface. A lens will have two centers of curvature on either sides, two centers of curvature C1 and C2. The radius of the sphere in which the lens is a part, the surface is a part, is called as radius of curvature, as studied already. Radius of curvature. Now, a straight line passing through the centers of curvature is called as the principal axis. Principal axis. The radius of the sphere in which the mirror is a part is called as radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. A lens will have two radii of curvature on either sides. Now, the center of the lens is what we call as O, is what we call as optic center. It is called as optic center. Optic center. For a mirror, it is called as a what it is called, the center of the geometric center of the reflecting surface is called as a pole. It is called as a pole, mirror. And for a lens, the geometric center of this lens is called as a optic center. Optic center. Optic center. Now in the figure you can see this is the optic center of the convex lens. This is the optic center of the concave lens. Now, why a convex lens is called as a converging lens? If you are keeping a convex lens in sunlight and focus the light on a paper sheet, you can see that the paper sheet after some time will be burning. The sun's rays are converged to a point so that the paper begin to burn. And the convex lens is having the capacity of converging the light rays to a point, hence it is called as a converging lens. And the concave lens diverges the light beam, hence it is called as a diverging lens. A convex lens is a converging lens and a concave lens is a diverging lens. When a parallel beam of light after refraction, from the convex lens converges to a point on the principal axis, this point is called the principal focus of a convex lens. Once again, a parallel beam of light close to the principal axis after refraction, not reflection. After refraction converges to a point on the principal axis, this point is called principal focus of a convex lens. This is called as a real focus because if you keep a screen you can get an image. For a concave lens, a parallel beam of light close to the principal axis after refraction appeared to diverge from a point on the principal axis. If you are looking from here, you can see an image here, but the image cannot be focused on a screen. Now the image formed will be a virtual image. It can be seen only from here. The light rays after refraction appear to diverge from a point on the principal axis. This is called as principal focus of a concave lens. Now see, a lens will have two foci on either sides. A convex lens will have two focus, one on this side, the other on this side. A concave lens will have two focus, one on this side, the other on this side. The left focus is called f1, the right focus is called f2. Left focus is called f1, right focus is called f2. But in your level, 10th standard, you need not worry about. In higher levels, you will study it as first principal focus, second principal focus, and so on. You need not worry. By using sign conventions, we always concentrate on the right focus of the convex lens f2 and the left focus of the concave lens f1. This will be only mentioned in future. The right focal focus of the convex lens f2 and the left focus of the concave lens f1 will be mentioned in future. So doesn't you need not worry about what is f1, what is f2. Anyway, you should understand that a convex lens has two focus on either sides. A concave lens will also have two focus on either sides. But we concentrate on the right focus for a convex lens, converge where the light rays are converged, and we concentrate on the left focus of the concave lens where the light rays are appear to diverge in front. A convex lens is a converging lens and a concave lens is a diverging lens. Hope you are clear. Now, as we studied earlier, the diameter of the lens is called as aperture. What it is? The diameter of the lens is called as aperture. Already we learned the same term in mirrors also. Aperture. It is called as aperture. A-P-E-R-T-U-R-E. Now, image formations by a convex lens first of all. Image formations by a convex lens. For convenience, I have drawn this chart here, written this chart here, one by one. As you study the concave mirror, the same idea comes here. When the object is at infinity, image is formed at the focus, this figure. When the object is at infinity, parallel light rays will be coming after refraction converges to the focus at f2. Where is the image? At the focus, position of image. The size of the image, highly diminished and point size, as we studied in concave mirror. Nature of image, real and inverted. Now, when the object is beyond 2f1, means if this is f1, this will be, if this is f1, this is 2f1, and object is beyond 2f1 here. When the object is beyond 2f1, see the chart, the image is formed between f2 and 2f2 on the right side. Between f2 and double of this, 2f2. The image is formed between f2 and 2f2. See the nature, diminished image, not highly diminished, real and inverted. Next, when the object is at 2f1 on this side, the image is formed 2f2 on the other side. Object at 2f1, image is formed at 2f2. The size of the image will be same size. The size of the image will be same size, real and inverted. And when the object is between 2f1 and f1, between 2f1 and f1, here is the object, image will be formed beyond 2f2 on the other side, beyond 2f2. Look at the chart in the textbook and study. Beyond 2f2, the image will be enlarged. Here same size, then the image is enlarged, real and inverted, all the time real and inverted, as in concave mirror. Now when the object is kept at the focus, f1, image is formed at infinity. Object at infinity, image is formed at the focus. Object is kept at the focus, f1, image is formed at infinity. Image will be formed at infinity. Next, the size, highly enlarged image. The maximum size image is formed at infinity, highly enlarged image, which will be infinitely large. You can say, see the chart in the textbook, infinitely large or highly enlarged, real and inverted. When the object is kept between f1 and O, between focus and optic center, between focus and optic center, the virtual image is formed on the same side. We will draw it and show. A virtual image will be formed. Focus and optic center, a virtual image will be formed on the same side. It will be a large image, virtual and direct. So only one position that the convex lens forms A direct image is when the object is kept between F1 and optic center. F1 and optic center, we get the image on the same side, enlarged image which will be virtual and erect. Once again, very fast. Object at infinity, we are discussing convex lens. Object at infinity, image is formed at the focus on the right side. Highly diminished image, point size, real and inverted. Object is kept beyond 2f1, means here, beyond 2f1 on the left side. Image is formed between f2 and 2f2 on the right side. Diminished image, real and inverted. Object is kept at 2f1 on the left side. Image is formed at 2f2 on the right side. What is the nature? Same size. Size of the image is same size, real and inverted. Object is kept between 2f1 and f1. Image is formed beyond 2f2. Object is kept between 2f1 and f1. Image is formed beyond 2f2. Beyond 2f2. Enlarged image, real and inverted. We will draw on the figures. And object is kept at the focus f1. Image is formed at infinity. Highly enlarged image, real and inverted. Object is kept between f1 and O. We get on the same side of the object, the image will be formed on the same side of the object. If you are keeping the object between f1 and O, we are getting the image on the same side of the object, which will be enlarged image, virtual and erect. Now coming back to, going on to the concave lens, only two positions, as we study the convex mirror, only two positions. Object is kept at infinity, image is formed at the focus. Object is kept at infinity, image is formed at the focus f1. What is the size? Highly diminished point size. Highly diminished point size. Nature, virtual and erect. It will be a virtual image, cannot be focused on a screen, and erect image. It's an erect image. Now, anywhere between infinity and optic center O, you keep the object anywhere between infinity and optic center O, you get an image between f1 and O. We will draw it and show between f1 and O you will get an image. And what is the nature? It's a diminished image, virtual and erect. Only two positions for a concave lens or diverging lens. Only two positions. And therefore all of these positions we have to draw. And so all these positions you have to draw with the ray diagrams, and you have to, using ray diagrams, you have to verify all these charts, all of these. And before drawing from your home, drawing pictures, you should draw and study everyone. Now you should be thorough with this chart. I think all of you are thorough with it. In concave mirror we studied and convex mirror we studied. You are thorough with all these positions. So concave, what we studied for concave mirror, it's a reflected image, remember. Concave mirror is true for a convex lens, but it is refraction. What we studied for a convex mirror, only two positions. It is true for a concave lens, but it is refraction. The other one is mirrors, it is reflection only, and in lenses it is refraction only. So always mentioned, after refraction converges to the point. After refraction appear to come from the focus, like that only. And in mirrors you have to say after refraction. That's only difference. You can verify the charts, you can go through the chart and study each of the positions, so that while we are drawing the image positions, it will be easy for you. Hope you understood this, and any doubt you can clear. And look at the chart, keep your textbook open and look at the chart given in the textbook and learn each one of them. Okay? Now, how will you construct images? How will you construct images? How will you prove this? Object at infinity, image is formed at the focus on the right side. How? With the three rays we are proving it. Three kind of rays. And in mirrors we used four rays. And here we are using three rays. What are the three rays? One, a ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction pass through the focus for a convex lens. Focus on the right side. One ray. For a diverging lens, concave lens, a ray parallel to the principal axis appear to come from the focus on this side. This is one ray we are using for drawing diagram. A ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction pass through the focus on the right side. Convex lens. A ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction appeared to diverge from the focus. F1. Okay, one ray. Next two. A ray passing through the focus after refraction is made parallel to the principal axis. It goes parallel to the principal axis. A ray passing through the focus after refraction is rendered parallel to the principal axis. Both you can see. A ray passing towards the focus is made parallel after refraction in the case of diverging lens. Now third one, a ray passing through the optic center passes straight without any deviation, passes straight. This is true for convex axis as concave. A ray passing through the optic center passes straight. A ray passing through the optic center passes straight. Any of the two rays out of three sets, any of the two rays you can use so that you can form any image position, any image. In the chart given, any of the image you can draw by ray diagrams. Use these three properties. Once again, a ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction passes through the focus in the case of a convex lens. A ray parallel to the principal axis appear to come from the focus in the case of a diverging lens, concave lens. A ray passing through the focus after refraction is made parallel to the principal axis. A ray passing towards the focus after refraction is rendered parallel to the principal axis in the case of concave lens. A ray passing through the optic center passes straight. A ray passing through the concave lens also passes straight. Any of the three rays are there. Out of this you can use two rays so that where they meet after refraction, that will be the formation of the real image. If they are not meeting, you can produce and meet. If you are producing the rays and meeting, it will be a virtual image. If the direct rays can be met at a point and you can draw an image there, it's a real image. If the direct rays after refraction is not meeting but diverging out, you can draw them backward and where they meet it will be corresponding to position of a virtual image. So let us see by ray diagrams, any of the two you can use. Let us see by ray diagrams how to draw all these cases. I will rub it off. Now keep your textbook in front of you and I will draw all of the figures and explain one by one how to form an image by these ray diagrams, using ray diagrams, how to locate an image and how to prove all these cases, the size of the image as well as nature, everything you can prove with the help of the ray diagrams. Okay, thank you.